we're so much connected to others, but we're disconnected to ourselves. Like, we give so much to the world. Hey guys, how are y'all? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I hope y'all are doing amazing. I wanted to get on here, and you all know when it's a sit down video, it's not a vlog. We're about to talk about something very, very serious and something very, very, very necessary. So today's topic is about pouring into yourself, and we're going to talk about what that looks like, how you can do it, and what happens when you don't. So what is pouring into yourself, right? So for me, I'm going to talk from my perspective and what I have been doing to kind of identify what it looks like for me, what it feels like, how I receive it when it's coming from different people, and how I give it. So pouring into yourself just means doing things that fills your cup, doing things that makes you happy, doing things that feels good to you, doing things that not only nurtures your well-being but also nurtures your soul, your mind, and everything. That can look a lot different depending on who you are and what kind of things that you're into, and just about how you identify it for yourself. Because for some people it may be to be with their families, and that pours, like, just them being around people helps them nurture their soul, and it's a way to pour into themselves. And for some, it might be doing things by themselves and just spending quality time by themselves, and that is also a great thing to do. There's no right answer, but since this is about me and also you guys, it's not just solely about me. I do want to see and know how you all pour into yourself. Like, how do you all do it? What do you all do to make sure that you're giving yourself the attention that you need and deserve, and giving yourself the amount of attention that you also give to others? Because a lot of the times we figure that we're so much connected to others, but we're disconnected to ourselves. Like, we give so much to the world, and we start pouring out of an empty cup because we're so giving, and we may not get it back because not everyone has the same heart. So I just want to make sure that we talk about this, and this channel is about all things mental health, all things life, all things being adventurous, and just venturing off to new things and stuff like that. So coming here and chatting about this is very important. So what does pouring into yourself look like? What does self-love looks like to you, and what does it feel like for you? For me, pouring into myself just means spending quality time with myself, and this for me looks like catching up on a TV show that I have been missing, maybe due to work or school and things like that, or reading a book, or starting a new hobby, because it just fills my heart. It makes me feel good, and it just makes me feel like I'm loving myself, I'm loving on myself. Because at least for me, like, when I forget to pour into myself by doing those things, I kind of try to fulfill that or make myself feel better by going the extra mile for other people, and I don't realize that that's not doing me any good. It feels good helping people, it definitely feels good, but it's not doing me any good in the long run. Because imagine this: you're helping people, you're always pouring into their cup, making sure that they're well taken care of. But what happens when you're alone? What happens when you're left with your thoughts? What happens when it's just you and no one else? What happens when they're good and they don't need you anymore? They don't need you to make them feel better. They don't need your advice. They don't need you to do things for them, whether it's getting them monetary things or just doing anything of service for them. What happens to you then? What happens when it's just you? How are you gonna cope with that? How are you gonna make sure that you're not feeling empty because your only source of fulfillment is fulfilling other people's dreams or other people's needs and things like that, things of that sort? So make sure you're pouring into yourself. Back to me. Pouring into myself is reading that book. Just yesterday, I was reading this book that I have been putting off because I've just been making other things my priority as opposed to making this something that I need to do. It makes me feel good, so I feel like I need to pencil that into my schedule and make sure that I'm doing this thing. It needs to be a necessity. It does not need to be something you do when you don't have anything else to do. When you have an extra time on your hands. It doesn't. Obviously, when you have work, that's a different story, but this also has to be a thing that you prioritize because mental health is important. And it starts with remembering yourself, giving yourself grace, being very kind to yourself, and knowing that you need certain things for you to survive. You need certain things for you to thrive. And you need certain things for your soul to be happy. It can't always be about other people. So, giving yourself that time, giving yourself grace, doing things that you enjoy, doing things that you love, that's a source of pouring into yourself and loving on yourself. And also always remember to be patient with yourself, because sometimes those things may not give you the love, or may not nurture your soul in the ways that you thought it would. And that's okay, because you find that mental health and just self-love is way deeper than just doing things. You have to nurture your thoughts, nurture your mind, which also nurtures your soul, and then do things to act on those thoughts. So I'm gonna give you an example. For me, I'm a busy woman. I'm always handling things. I'm always doing things. And a lot of the times I forget. I'm like, wait, did I even eat today? I always think, I'm like, did I eat? If you know me, you know this. Like, I forget to eat all the time. And that's just something, I guess, I don't know how it came about, but it just happens. It happens to me very often, and it's not healthy at all whatsoever. But that's a part of pouring into myself. I need to remember, I need to slow down. Hey, I have a busy day today, but I need to slow down, and I need to pour into myself. I need to make sure that I'm getting the care that I need. With that being said, what happens when you don't? When you fall short into taking care of yourself, when you fall short into giving yourself that grace and extend that love that you give so freely to others, you start to fall short. You start to feel not good about yourself. You start to feel very, not depressed, but that's where it's headed. That's the direction it may go into if you don't take care of it. Okay, so I am back. The camera had died, but I put the new battery in and we're back. This camera, if you know anything about the Sony, you literally have 30 minutes. Like, do you know you have 30 minutes? And that's not a joke. You literally have 30 minutes. So I didn't want to make this video too long. I think I touched on all that I needed to touch on. It was very quick. I wanted it to be straight to the point and very cut and clear. So love on yourself, pouring into yourself, because one thing that I have learned from this and from doing that, practicing it and prioritizing it, is you cannot pour out of an empty cup. You cannot give love if you feel disconnected from yourself. So you have to make sure you are good with yourself first before extending your services or extending yourself to other people. Because you are, I said this before in one of my videos and I'll say it again, you're no good to others if you're no good to yourself. And that's just something that you need to realize. And a lot of people take advantage of people like that. People who love other people so much and extend themselves. And people may take advantage of it because they know that they can get it from you and they don't have to give it to you back. And I want you to remember that if that person or whoever in your life does not pour into you, and you pour so much of yourself into them, do not waste your energy on them. Do not pour into them, because you're not doing yourself any justice. Love yourself, give yourself grace, pour into yourself, and let others do the same for you. Because self-love is not a luxury. It is not a luxury. It's a priority. You need it to survive. You need to know how to love yourself to survive in this world. And that's the sad truth. And it's quite beautiful if you think about it, because you help others because you feel like you can do it. You help others because you feel like I am meant to love on others. And when you realize that you're meant to love yourself too, that it shifts things completely. It makes things all that more wonderful. Because when you prioritize self-love and you don't make it a luxury, you don't make it something that you do for aesthetics, that you can just play with. You stop needing validation from the world. You stop needing validation from people you so badly want to be accepted by. You stop needing that validation because you have it within yourself. You give it to yourself. The only person who ever needs to accept who you are, accept your characteristics, accept who you're becoming is yourself, and most importantly, God. So, pour into yourself, love yourself, and always, always, always remember, life is what you make it. So go make it everything you want to make it. Thank you guys for watching this video. It was very short, not like the other ones, but I just wanted to really share this message. It was on my heart to share it. So I want you all to go and do with this what you may. And always remember to give yourself some grace while you're going through life healing. And yeah, thank you guys for always supporting. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Comment down below, how do you pour into yourself? What does that look like for you?